Right. So up until now, we really have been just learning how to put content into our course as basically resources for our students to access. But one of the wonderful things about Canvas, as opposed to, say, a website, is that students can interact on Canvas. They can interact with us and they can interact with each other. And so let's go into some of the tools that make this truly a blended learning platform rather than just a place to get content or resources. So today I'm going to go over how to create a quiz in Canvas. So what I do is I come into my course. Over here on the left navigation for my course, I'm going to navigate down to where it says quizzes. Again, remember, if it's grayed out, that is okay. You can still click on it. Okay. I will have my quizzes list here if I haven't made any. If I've not, then there won't be anything here. And I'm going to go over here to the right and I'm going to add a quiz. And it's going to default name it unnamed quiz. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to rename this. Add a quiz. And here is where I'm going to give directions for the quiz. This is how quiz on how to set up quizzes in Canvas. If for some reason you need to give them visuals such as pictures, you can do that as well. It works the same way in a quiz as it did in a content page. You can add images, text, you can use all the same features, you can hyperlink, you can record and upload media. So if you chose not to give written directions and you wanted to give a video of yourself giving verbal directions, you can do that. When I finish with that, I'm going to scroll down here. Notice I'm on my details or my settings page of my quiz. I haven't started adding questions yet. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to make this, you can choose from several different things. You can do a practice quiz, a graded quiz, or some surveys. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this with graded quiz for the time being. It's going to show up in my assignments group because that's the only group that I currently have. You can have some option choices here. Do you want to shuffle the answers? Do you want to give them a time limit on how long they have to take the quiz? Or do you want to allow them multiple attempts? So if they get things wrong, they can go back and correct themselves. Here is where you're going to let them know if they can see their responses or not. Do you want them to see their responses? Or do you only want them to see them once after each time they try? Or do you want to not let them see them at all? And if you're going to let them see them, do you want to show them at a certain time and hide them at a certain time, the correct answers, that being? You can also choose if you only want them to see one question in your quiz at a time. We typically don't do much with an access code or filtering IP addresses. Down here at the bottom, this is where the Assign To button. So this is nice because it defaults to everyone that's in your course, but it doesn't have to be. You can assign it to specific students, thereby differentiating or personalizing their learning. So for example, if you have one group that needs some modifications on their quiz, you can assign that to them, and that is the particular quiz that will show up for that. You're going to want to give it a due date, and then tell, if you want, the dates that it's available, down to the hour and minute if you like. And then if you want to, you can click Save at this point, or I can go back up here to the top and I can add questions to my quiz. So now down here, I don't have any question groups or previous questions from quizzes, but I could go and find them if I did have them. I'm going to go ahead and click a new question. I'm going to give my question a name. I'm just going to say question number 1. I'm going to choose what kind of question I want it to be. So you can see I have a number of choices here for what I want my question to be. So I'm going to choose true or false for this one. I'm going to type my question here. Is making quizzes in Canvas difficult? Oh, I forgot. I should shouldn't make it a question, I should say a statement because I'm doing true or false. So making quizzes in Canvas is difficult. Okay? So whichever answer is green is the correct answer. So I'm going to say making quizzes is not difficult, so I'm going to highlight and click this little arrow, and now false is the correct answer. So these little boxes right here are comments that if the student chooses that particular answer, it will pop up a prompt for them. So for example, if the student chose true, you might put up a box that says, please contact your teacher so that we can work on what you are having trouble with. Okay? That way, if a student chooses that answer, they will get a prompt that says, don't be sure to click done. Please contact your teacher. Okay? You can also put one in here that says if they answered false, great, glad job, glad that you find it easy. Okay? I want to be sure to click update question when I'm finished with it. You can see that my question is here. If I need to edit it, I can come over here to the pencil, or I can add a new question when I'm finished. When I'm all done, I want to make sure to click save or save and publish if I'm ready for students to see it. And then I always tell teachers, go ahead and preview your quiz, because a lot of times we'll build these and then we want to see what they're going to look like. So I'm going to preview this quiz. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like. So the student is going to see how many questions are over here, how long they're taking on the quiz. The quiz is going to pop up, and they're going to say making quizzes in Canvas is difficult. If I click false and submit, or if I click true, let's see what happens if I answer this incorrectly. And I submit the quiz. There is my answer right here. Please contact your teacher so that we can work on what you're having trouble with. You can see my score, etc. Okay, so that's the preview of the quiz.